From Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayub Mousavi. From Islamic Republic of Iran, Sorab Moradi. From Republic of Korea, Chung Hyun Sup. From Germany, Jürgen Spieß. From the United States of America, Colin Burns. From Brazil, Marco Gregorio. From Egypt, Ragab Abdelhai. From Lithuania, Orimas Dicbalis. From Uzbekistan, Farkodbek Sabarov. And from Qatar, Denis Hasuna. These are the athletes in the men's 94 kilo class Group A session.
Oh, I had never seen him before. I mean, he literally looked like he fell off a bar stool.
All right, so here is Jürgen Spieß to start us off. 163 kilos. Spieß opened with 165. He went 3 for 3 in the snatch earlier this year in split.
Oh, all right.
That's a surprise, and I'll tell you why. Spieß has been lifting in major meets in German Bundesliga events, I mean, going back to 2000, and in a history of, even in these just type of events, like 30 competitions, he's missed an opening snatch twice.
Well, we've seen a plethora of misses this weekend.
All right, so now here is Colin Burns of the U.S.
Next, from Qatar.
163 kilos. He opened with 160 at the Pan Ams, went 3 for 3 there. Opened with 62 at the Senior Nationals earlier this year. So he's been hovering around this range for most of the year, but Colin is not afraid of a big jump.
No.
So I would expect him to put this away. And watch him under the bar, just perfectly symmetrical, just great movement under the bar in the snatch.
No, there you go, wait.
Oh, wow.
And the ability to do that.
That is a fantastic save.
Good
The
lift
benefit
for
of
Burns,
keeping the bar close to you
Yes.
and punching it out
And being upright.
and being upright. He was able to secure that and prevent it from going back right there.
First attempt.
You don't see that very often. We've seen that once or
Spieß,
twice this
Germany,
weekend,
next at the same
this
weight.
week, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah, especially when the hips roll under like that.
Yes.
That's usually the beginning of the end on an attempt, and he managed to roll back into position before he stood up. I mean, that's
great.
All right, so now we have one of 2 juniors in this group, Faris Elbach of Qatar.
Excellent attempt.
No surprise there. He makes lifts. And he
Good
does it
lift.
regularly, and he does it
Asuna,
like that.
163 kilos.
And opening here with 63, that's the heaviest I think he's ever opened with
Second
at a meet.
attempt from Germany.
But it doesn't look it.
That's textbook.
That's
That
just
was
great
beautiful.
technique. Well, he is the son of a three-time Olympian
Bulgarian
Who?
next.
in weightlifting, Elbach.
Oh,
So I think the family knows weightlifting.
the genes
It
have trickled
shows.
down.
It does indeed, or did indeed. All right, so we are back to Spice.
He likes to let this clock run down.
Digging in that hook grip.
Oh, it looks like his arm's bent a little early off the floor. He's
See if
got-
we can see that on replay.
little bit.
You know, I just didn't notice it. I wasn't
I mean,
keying in on
ever
that.
so slight. I think it looked like it threw off his rhythm just a little bit.
We're going to call once again from Germany, Jürgen Spiess, third and final attempt.
Well,
Looks like he's just a bit off from
yeah,
his
and,
normal.
and this is not a guy who bombs out,
Chico next.
but he is on the razor's edge here. 0 for 2.
I mean, his second, it's his attempts are degrading, so it's just not a great sign. But as we've seen here a few times, people coming out missing their first 2 attempts, and something snaps into place, and they come back and they smoke their third.
Yeah. But in this case here, like you said, I mean, this didn't look as sharp as the opener. And he's in a spot that he's never really been in before. I don't see any history of him ever missing 2 in a row, and I don't see any history of him bombing. But at the same time, he's really going to have to step up right here and put this together. Thankfully, it was a 2-minute clock, so he wasn't rushed.
Right.
But he's going to have to, dig deep here. Room is perfectly still right now.
Oh boy.
And I
Not
think
his day.
No, and it would have been a great reaction had he made it.
163 kilos.
So no lift, no total for Jürgen Spiess. 3 misses with 163. And very, very uncharacteristic of a, tremendous weightlifter with an excellent history on the major stage. All right,
This
so
seems
now,
like a low opener for Georgie. Is it?
no,
Okay.
actually no, it's a lower body weight, believe it or not, for Georgie. He's actually moved down. He used to lift, or he lifts quite a bit at like a plus 94. Like 97 kilos, something like that. But in split, he opened with 63.
Okay.
So that was the Europeans. He went on to snatch 70. Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? That was nuts.
That's hard to do. Well, we've seen two really amazing saves so far.
That's hard to do without the twist.
Right.
Loaders 164 kilos.
Dude, look at this.
That's fantastic.
Right here, a little shot for the camera. Almost.
Burns 164 kilos.
You know what it was? Is as it turned, he just decided to rage his way through it a bit. Wow.
Hyun-Suk Jung. This was his first attempt from Republic of Korea.
All right, so now for the first time, we are seeing Jun Hoon-Sup of Korea. He hasn't lifted internationally since 2015. He was here at the Worlds in Houston. He placed 9th. He was a 94, and he snatched 165 there on his opener. I think he might get called for a press out here.
It's going to be close. Yeah.
Majority decision.
So a majority decision, no lift in his favor, and you could see this right as he punches out, and I think it's both arms, but I saw left more. That little movement was enough.
Boy, I'll tell you.
It's tough, but they've been consistent about it over the course of the competition, and you know, what do you do? Do you go up? Do you do it again?
Well,
probably do it again, get it on the board.
I got to get it on the board. It wasn't so convincing
that it justified going up. Okay. All right, so now here's Marco Gregorio of Brazil. This is his second World Championships. Placed 3rd at the Pan Ams this summer in Miami. Snatched 66 on his second attempt there. Collar to collar doesn't look like enough almost. Right. He's big and long.
And that looked like it came forward right off the floor. So let's see if he can make that correction on his second attempt. And I think that's what kind of drew him forward a little bit.
Attempt number 1. To be followed
but
by
had control all the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really no doubt about that. And here is Ragab Abdelhai of Egypt, 2-time Olympian. He looked great in Rio. He snatched 174. He opened with 65 there. So here he is.
Oh, wow. That's
so here he is, opening with 65 again.
I assume 65, 70, 74.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he crushed all of them.
Yes.
Basically like that.
Right. Nice lift.
Good lift.
He gets there in a hurry, boy. He's fast.
Loaders 165 stays.
So a good lift here for Abdelhai.
You said that he's a snatch specialist, huh?
I don't know about he makes lifts more consistently in the snatch, but his clean and jerk is where it should be for a guy.
He's built for the clean and jerk.
Yeah, and he can do it.
Republic of Korea to be followed by.
So he's got to just make this more convincing in the reception. Got to really push hard up against the bar.
Jun Hoon-Sup,
yes,
of Korea's second attempt, missed this 165 on his opener. He was called for a press out.
Oh. So sometimes what happens after a miss like his first one, you tend to squeeze the bar really hard, and it kind of draws it forward. Instead of pushing up on the bar, they squeeze the bar, and that's kind of, I think, what we saw there.
This will be his third and final attempt.
Just left it out in front.
2 minutes is
Just
on the
everything
clock.
was forward, and that puts us in our second
Islamic Republic of Iran next.
do or die spot of this session. Jun Hoon-Suk is on a 2-minute clock
Yeah, he's
with
not
165.
He's not going to get a break, so he's going to have to go right back out there.
He is, and the other lifter who was in this spot, Jurgen Spice, missed with 163, and we are seeing on the scoreboard, and we have not heard the announcement in the stadium, but I think it's coming. Jurgen Spice is out of the competition. He has opted not to take any clean and jerks. So
I hope he's not injured.
yeah, he just didn't look like him, though. I mean, this is not a guy who bombs out.
Right.
So
Something's up.
something was up. All right, so now another big moment in this competition. Jun Hoon-Suk of Korea must make this to post a total. Oh, no.
Oh, he's going to get called on his right arm.
And you know it's coming. And it was going to come. And you know, the body language of the referee, I could see it.
You know, once it happens once in your series, the referees are just,
It's clear.
They're staring at it.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because you can tell which referee makes a decision, and the one on the right just sat back, and you could just see the look of, I got to turn this down. I got to do it. And she didn't want to, but I think, you know, just that little sit back in the chair just kind of tells you something.
You got to give him no doubt.
Yeah. All right, so now Ayub Musavi of Iran, first attempt, 166 kilos. All right, no lift.
There must be an elbow flu going around, because it seems like it's affecting these last two lifters.
And, you know, when you see this, that elbow unlocked right away.
Yeah.
And you think he almost held on to this too long. It wasn't worth the fight once that elbow bent that way. And you can see he was
Right.
hanging on to try to fight.
Yourself in trouble when you hold on to that. Like,
But and I understand it. You know, you're a weightlifter and you always want to fight and you always want to get it done. But once your arm clearly unlocks that way, I don't care how crazy strong you are, and he is.
although
You're not going to get the lift. Even
we
if you
did
stand
one
up with
session yesterday before, I think it was a Korean lifter, snatched it, but he snatched it and caught it with a bent arm and stayed there.
which is okay.
Well, they turned him down. I thought it was a good lift. But, yeah.
All right, so Musavi had his 1 minute clock burned, so he is back out here quickly. And he is staying with this 166. He has made this weight before.
Hold it. Good.
Just let that sink in from the crowd. It's going to be twice as loud when Maradi comes out.
But it's going to be a little bit of a wait.
It is, but they are happy to see Musavi on the board.
From the United States of America.
And again, when he punches out, that left elbow,
It's not great.
yeah, it's just... But this was a good lift. It deserved 3 white lights. It got 3 white lights, and he is good to go. We will see where his track takes him. And now Elbach is back.
Second attempt. Chico next. from Bulgaria.
167 kilos. This is a 4-kilo jump. He has done 168. He did that in Ashgabat earlier this year. Actually, just a couple of months ago, he did it in September, but he did it on his 3rd attempt. So here he is on a 2nd attempt, taking a crack at what looks to be a personal best.
And he looked great on his opener. Oh.
Tried to wedge himself underneath there.
No lift for Hasuna.
Got a little bit more height on that bar to give him a little bit more time to get under.
167, 2nd attempt in the snatch from Bulgaria.
It's the left side that doesn't look like it gets secured.
Iran next.
And now we are back to Shikov of Bulgaria, 167 kilos. This is a 3-kilo increment.
Had a great save on his first.
Yes, let's see if he can keep this straight. He caught it, like, I want to think, not much over parallel, right? I mean, it's not a real deep bottom position.
Yeah, he undercompensated that time. The first attempt, he almost lost back, and it looked like he took a little bit off this time, and he took too much off, and it was just out in front.
Which is a common
Very
thing,
common.
and it's hard to prevent, but you do have to rely on just letting your body do its thing. And
got to get out of your own head.
Yeah.
You just got to go up there and do what you do a million times in the gym, and don't worry about making any adjustments. You just do what you do unconsciously.
Yeah.
Once you start thinking about it, forget about it. You get yourself in trouble.
So Elbach is back for his 3rd and final attempt, 167. This will move him into the lead. So far, there have been 2 attempts taken. One of them has been his. We have yet to see a success with this weight.
Oh, same exact way he missed his 2nd attempt.
No lift. Asuna, 167 kilos. Staying with 167 kilos.
So no lift there. He will be credited with 163 kilos on his opener. But he's an up-and-coming lifter. I mean, I don't think there's any question about it. He was 5 for 6 at Rio. He looked great at the Olympics in the 85-kilo class. It was a lot of fun to watch him lift.
And we've said this before. You know, this is the first World Championships of the new quad, and athletes aren't going to be in tip-top shape for this.
Murati may prove us wrong.
Right, maybe, right. He might be the one.
All right, so now here is Georgi Shikov of Bulgaria. 3rd attempt. Almost.
Yeah. It looked a little slow.
No lid. Shikov, 167 kilos.
There.
Yeah, it was there.
You know, and I wonder if it was in the bottom position, if he lost his, like, lock. Yeah, he rolled under a bit.
Bar is ready for
I think the bar never got 100% back to where it needed to be. But
all right, so now here's Burns, 168 kilos, 5-kilo jump for Colin.
Throw chest hard. Keep it close the whole way. Let's go, Colin. Get ready to work. Get ready to fight. Let's go.
Little trademark send-off there from Ursula.
that's right. And this is well within his wheelhouse here.
Strong.
I got the privilege of coaching him at Pan Am's, and he just makes less.
That looks like an elbow injury. So he had it punched out, and
Oh, man.
unfortunately, that does not look like a good one. And this does happen occasionally, not often. Colin has never really been injury prone.
No.
So I don't know if there was a little softness there before, but they've got him up, and we'll get him checked out. When we hear something, we will let you know.
It's always the danger of missing it behind, that elbow or that shoulder.
Well, and the other thing too is, and not to say that Colin had any pre-existing thing, but in that first attempt, he did stick under the bar for a while, and the more time underneath a heavy lift like that, the more time or the more exposed you are. So they're going to go get him checked out with this 2-minute clock running. I don't see him taking a third here, but he doesn't look.
He's got one in the bank.
It wasn't a total reversal there. He's walking around okay, but
he's not going to take his. He's not going to take his last attempt. It seems. I would not take this last attempt. Evaluate the elbow and see if you can come back for the clean and jerk.
Yeah, and you hear Colin's upset. Just in case you heard anything there, we apologize for the language, but understand it's a tough moment, and we'll see what they decide to do here with Colin's third attempt. And yeah, they're not going to take any chances. They're going to pass his third attempt in the snatch and have some time here to make a decision.
And that's exactly what they should do.
All right, so now we are back to Marco Gregorio of Brazil. 170 kilos. He tried this on his third attempt in Pan Am's. Ultimately won a silver behind Colin Burns at that meet, but was not successful with this meet, with this lift.
Too slow.
He's got one more.
Didn't, as soon as it came off the hip, it didn't accelerate. You can't make snatches if the bar doesn't accelerate off the explosion.
So this is a 2-minute clock for Gregorio.
And his bar has to go so high.
Yeah, and he's tall, but pardon the pun, that was a long pull.
Right.
I also noticed that he and Burns both used, I think they're the only two we've seen so far. They both snatched with a belt. Not that that matters with the miss, but on observation. Don't always see it as much with the heavier lifters. All right, so we're back with Ragab Abdallah of Egypt, 170, second attempt.
He's just a dynamo.
Yeah.
I would almost say he rushes. He like
just goes one speed. It just comes off the ground hot.
He just stands right up.
Yeah.
And
this is his third and final attempt.
And you've seen it now, 2 attempts in a row. I always point it out when I see it because I love it. Rebound out of the bottom.
Yeah,
I'm
not a huge fan of that. Not in the snatch.
What's the matter? You don't like easy lifts? You don't like making lifts easy?
Point taken. I enjoy a little bit of
trauma,
a little control at the bottom, and then stand up.
All right, so now we are back to Machado. Hopefully he can do just that with 170 kilos. Third attempt.
He's got to really accelerate in a second. Wow.
Left it out in front. I think there was more on this one.
But it looked like, and I don't remember how he lifted in the past, but it looked like that bar came into him a little bit low instead of into the hip. I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, he's collar to collar. You're talking about the connection point where the bar meets him when he extends, and I think you're right. It probably is across the thigh as opposed into that hip crease.
Is that normal? You think that's where he just goes?
Yeah, I don't think he's. Okay. I think he's got no choice because of his height.
Right. He needs an 8-foot bar.
Yeah. All right, so now we're back to Ayub Musavi of Iran. Third attempt, 171 kilos. He's tried this before, has not been successful with it yet. Hopefully,
very nice.
Until now, there was a little flick on that right elbow, and I have to hope this is a good lift.
That's a good lift.
And it was.
Very nice.
And just for the purposes of safety, going to look around at the jury, and I see some hands on some chins, but I don't see conversation.
172 kilos.
You notice that right arm, just that little flick. But I don't think it was enough to turn it down, and thankfully the referees did not either. And now we have 172 for the opening attempt of Arimas Ditsbalis. And if you've never seen him lift,
it's a lot of fun.
It can be an adventure for a couple of different reasons. He is a great lifter. He is unbelievably strong, but his overhead position can be a little suspect. He sometimes does get called for soft elbows when he punches out. Now that one just went out in front a little bit. You look at him and I don't understand how he can weigh 94 kilos.
He has hollow bones.
He is huge.
So he just received word that Colin Burns has withdrawn from the competition.
By the same athlete. 70, Uzbekistan next.
So Burns is out. Does make sense. We are running a 2-minute clock, it looks like, on Ditsbalis at 172. You see the way the bar came off the ground on that first one. I mean, just lightning fast. I mean, maybe his body was a little bit behind it. I think he will make the correction here. He has snatched over 180, and he has done that this year. So this is a weight he can handle.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know how he weighs 94 kilos.
He's huge.
Ooh, wow.
No lid. Ditsbalis, 172 kilos.
This was a similar situation for Ditsbalis in Rio.
He's moved up. Loaders, 172 kilos.
It doesn't look hard. It just looks out of position.
Yeah, on the bottom position. It doesn't look like his elbows are bending in Rio. It's not press-up problems. It's just
not in the right spot.
He's not catching it where he normally does. All right, so now we are back to the Egyptian lifter, Regab Abdelhai. 172. That is how you cap off a series. 3 for 3 for Abdelhai. 172 moves him into the lead. And he does this. He is 3 for 3 in every major competition he's been in, going back to 2013. He hasn't missed a snatch in a major event since 2013. And I'm not talking two competitions, you know. It's like 10, it's like 8 competitions.
That's great.
I mean, the guy just doesn't miss snatches. All right, so Sabarov is being announced with 75, and if you think about strategy in the back and things and what people are capable of, his last warm-up was 175. So he has made this already.
Right.
Now he needs to make it official. So 175 kilos, first attempt. Farkadbek Sabarov of Uzbekistan, junior world champion this year.
Wow. What did he
That
lift
happened
at Junior
quickly.
Worlds?
180, 3 for 3. Opened with 70, and his best is 81, and I don't think that's going to be for too long.
That's the request by Soda.
Look at how that finishes.
Islamic Republic of
Beautiful.
Iran. First attempt.
So if 181 is his best, I think that we'll only be able to say that for a few more minutes, because that looked incredible. All right, so Murati is on the bar with 176 kilos.
The current world champion. I mean, the current world record holder in the total.
And Olympic champion.
And Olympic champion. No, we don't know what kind of shape he's in, but we'll see in a second.
Well, he opened with 76 in Ashgabat when he broke the world record. I think he's in good shape.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I see a bar go up like that, and I wonder if it's loaded correctly. I mean, and we're looking right at it, and it is, and I just can't believe it. Are you kidding me?
Farkadbek Sabirov, Uzbekistan. Second
Right
attempt.
on the body.
I mean, it's a parallel he catches it.
Yeah, he catches it at parallel and still slingshots right up. It's lifting on another level.
So now we got a little, we're going to have a little bit of a game now.
176 kilos.
3 lifters remaining.
From Lithuania.
Ditsbalis on his 3rd attempt, missed his first 2, moved up 4 kilos. If he makes this, he's in the game, wins a medal. No, don't know what color yet. If he misses, it's a bomb out. And he has made it, and that left arm is just fine.
That's great.
That's a good lift. And Ditsbalis
I love that. That's fantastic.
176 kilos.
is going to be a medalist in the snatch. The question is what color, and just look at this.
For their second attempt. Up first.
Man, he's got ice water in his veins. That was a great lift.
He's also got a ton of experience, and the two combined together to pull you out of a dangerous place. This is now 2 major meets in a row where he has treaded that line and pulled it off. And now we are back to Sabarov, 177, playing it conservative.
I mean, you couldn't get 3 guys, 3 different, the body types of these 3 guys couldn't be more different.
But to still look incredible.
But they're all doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Hold it.
Wow.
Right to the edge of the platform, but not off of it.
Good lift, Samirov, 177 kilos.
And he's got a great finish. That's twice in a row he's moved forward from the bottom position, but just that punch out.
He just, from the time the bar leaves the ground until he catches it, he's just accelerating.
Yeah.
He and the bar.
Yeah.
It's the whole time. It's beautiful.
Maradi once more. He'll wait.
And now we are down to our final 3 attempts of this session, and I wonder how aggressive Maradi's going to get. I mean, Saburov...
I think it's going to depend upon how aggressive Saburov gets.
Well, Saburov has tried 81, has made 81.
Samirov's moved up.
He did that
kilos, please.
in September when he did his best ever 391 kilo total. That is his best official snatch. And he's got it loaded right now, and Maradi just moved to 82.
Loaders, 182 kilos.
We are creeping closer and closer to the world record.
So Saburov has selected 85, and I wonder. So if Maradi makes 82, I think we're going to see
a drop down.
Yes, from Saburov. And depending how that goes, we could see an attempt at a world record.
Right.
So
because
you want to see Maradi make this lift is the point.
Maradi's going to have one more attempt after this.
Right.
And Saburov, his next attempt is his last.
Right. There's movement there. I hope this is not turned down. It should be fine.
That'll be a good
3 white lights.
But it was not as, well, who am I kidding? It was a great lift.
You want to start the sentence, but it's just not worth it. Because, I mean, look at this.
I mean, it's 182 kilos. It's a great lift.
183. He's
All right,
down,
2 for 2 for Maradi.
We're going to call now.
And historically, Maradi has a bigger clean and jerk than Saburov. So he could take a crack at the world record regardless of what Saburov does here.
It would come down to ego here.
Yeah, what do you want? Do you want the gold medal of Worlds, or are you ready to take a crack at the world record? What's your plan? What are you more interested in today? And we'll see what the decision is in a bit. Right now,
I don't think Saburov can hang with Maradi in the clean and jerk.
And by the way, that drop down occurred while Maradi was on the platform. The Uzbeki coaches moved Saburov down to 183, and that's what he's going to take here on his third attempt to move into the lead. So he has already secured a silver medal in the snatch. The question is, what will the silver medal winning number be?
And this will be his personal best.
Yes. Oh,
wow. That was fantastic. This kid is unbelievable. So now Maradi's got to make a decision. Does he want to win the gold in the snatch, or does he want to set the world record?
Right.
I don't think he's going for the world record. That's a big jump.
184 kilos.
I mean, again, and the ability to stay under the bar here and just stabilize and bring it home. And this is just great.
Islamic Republic of Iran, third attempt.
All right, and to answer your question, Sean, or the way that you're thinking about it, right now, Maradi has been called for 184, and it does look like that is what he will take.
And I think this is the right call.
It's a call. It's a choice. I mean, if he was ready to take something more, 189 is a big number.
7-kilo jump from your second attempt in the snatch is a big number. That's big.
It's a world record that's old for a reason.
Right. Good point.
So now here is Maradi, Sohrab Maradi, third attempt, 184.
And his
gold
second
medal in the snatch. The second looked heavier than that.
Yes. Wow. That was fantastic. That was a great series. Great series. Fantastic.
It was a great display of weightlifting in every
This
way
battle will
imaginable.
continue in 10 minutes time with a clean and jerk of the men's 94
He actually had to get down there a little bit
Yeah.
to catch it.
2017 IWF Weightlifting World
So I guess we
Championship.
can say 100, mid-180s is what it takes to press Murati toward the limit.
If you'd like your picture taken on the platform of this World Championships, USAW
So there
Susie
is your gold
Sanchez
medalist
will meet
in
you
the
right
snatch.
in the middle, behind the jury table.
Sorib Moradi,
Let you up there and let you have
joined
your
by a
picture
very
taken
special coach.
Yes.
right here on this platform of greatness.
It's a big piece of man.
He was competing on Tuesday.
Night, and that we're ready for the showdown
Yeah.
there. Just great lifting in this whole series, and looks like that is Sabarov getting checked out. That is Sabarov back there. Hopefully just getting attended to in between the snatch and the clean and jerk. Sometimes that happens. Guys will get a little sore. He did stay down in that bottom position for a while. Burns, we have received word, as you mentioned, he has withdrawn from the competition. Ditsbalis saved off a bomb out in exchange for a bronze medal.
Yeah, he turned a terrible day into a bronze medal. I mean, that's fantastic.
Well, seems like it's his thing, and he's positioned for a fight in the clean and jerk and in total. And Sabarov just went to get a little bit of ice. He will have plenty of time, we hope, before he comes out for his opener in the clean and jerk, but maybe not so much. I mean, his opening clean and jerk is 200. Hopefully that's not the real number. And we do see that a lot, you know, where a declared weight is not what they intend. So if he does intend to clean and jerk, he will need to get moving soon, because 195, 192, then 195, you know, he's maybe got to count to 4 or 5 after the competition starts before he'd be out on the platform.
That is correct.
So I don't think 200's a real number for his opener.
And what did he do at Junior Worlds?
Here are the results in the snatch. B session lifted earlier this morning, and if we didn't mention it, Bodhi Santavi, unbelievable 165. He looked great.
It's been a humdinger
thus far. And we are going to start off this clean and jerk competition with the first attempt of Georgi Shikov of Bulgaria, 191 kilos.
So, June, you had mentioned the rule about the elbow the other day.
When Ditsbalis comes out, let's talk to it.
Okay.
Did he point? Okay. All right, so a little soft on that elbow, on that overhead position. I think it was the left arm. Let's see if they
was
get
the left arm.
They did.
Majority decision,
So
good lift.
there used to be a rule,
The jury would like
and they're going to talk about it, so I have a little time. So take a look at the clean and jerk. Watch his left arm. And when Sean set this up, he said that Shikov pointed to his elbow before he took the lift. So you can tell that there was some wobble in the arm. It sort of
This is a good
locked
opportunity
out,
to point out to you on
lock
the
out, or
scoreboard the two
you know,
athletes
bent and
have
rebent a little bit. So
withdrawn
there used to be a
from the
rule that said
remainder
if
of
you
the
were
competition.
incapable of extending your arm
Jürgen
fully,
Spiess of
you could
Germany
indicate
has
that to the
declined
referees
his
by
remaining
pointing
clean
to
and
your
jerks.
elbows. That is
Also
not
withdrawing from
allow.
the
It does
remainder
not
of the
allow you to bend and
competition from the
rebend your
United
arms. It's
States of
just simply
America,
telling the
Colin
referees that you are incapable of bringing your arm to a full extension. The rule has now changed that in order for that to be given any consideration, you must inform the referees and the jury prior to the competition beginning. And if they don't believe that your arm is incapable of a full extension, they can call over the doctor on duty to assess whether or not they believe your arm is capable of reaching full extension.
It has been reversed by the
With
jury.
that said,
no lift because of a press out. press out.
I don't
for
know if
Shikov.
Shikov has gone through that. The point is that pointing to your
191 kilo
elbows
stays.
effectively
The
does
athlete once
nothing.
again.
So if you don't if you don't prearrange this before the
Bulgaria, second
competition,
attempt.
It's irrelevant. The referees don't know.
Gregorio, Brazil,
And even
next.
if you do prearrange it by merely pointing to your elbows, it is just telling them at this point that you have a soft elbow.
right?
So it's something that I think is tricky in that once you have gone there, they know.
Well, like last session, we talked about, you know, once you miss the snatch with soft elbows, your next attempt, the judges are just honing in on that.
Yeah.
So you try not to bring attention to the things that you don't do well.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you really, really can't extend your arm, then you do have to make it known.
Right.
If you just have a bad
Right.
punch out, you're not going to get leniency. And proof in the pudding, Shikov just had that good lift overturned. So we are burning that 2-minute clock here, or running that 2-minute clock on his second attempt. And it all looks like
Shikov, Bulgaria,
he
second
is.
attempt.
I look at him and I don't think he's incapable of a full
Right.
extension.
He's just not good at it.
It's just not a great arm line.
Right.
It's not a, you know, it doesn't look like, say,
That problem has got to be fixed in training, not by talking to the referees.
or perhaps mobility. Sometimes sometimes people do, I don't know, sometimes they just don't have great lockouts.
Right.
All right, so now we are back to Shikov. Second attempt, 191 kilos.
He's got a good clean, that's for sure.
And on this attempt, I hope a good jerk.
That looked better.
A little bit of wobble, but not a bad lift, and the referees agreed.
Good.
So good stuff there.
192 kilos.
Shikov on the board.
Georgi Shikov.
He actually bends his arms a little bit off the floor.
Yeah.
So watch here as he punches out. It just, the elbow doesn't turn all the way, but I'm not looking at somebody incapable of fully extending the
I
arm
agree.
right there. So in a case of Shikov, like I don't think it's a great idea to point to your elbows.
195 kilos voters for Marco Gregorio.
He doesn't have the best
Brazil.
mobility overhead. I think the bar
Yeah.
isn't in the best position.
Right.
So, like, to your point, a little mobility work overhead would go a long way.
All right, so now 195 kilos will be loaded. Always fun to see 195 at fourth plate.
And it's no surprise that that Marco's out early in the clean and jerk.
Marco Gregorio, first attempt, 195 kilos. Talk about a little bit why in a bit.
Boy, his bar goes high.
I mean, they got to raise the ceiling a little
Man.
bit. And he jerks. The grip is almost what most people snatch from.
And you're not used to seeing that much space between the top of the head and the bar.
But it is solid.
And I
This is a
think you
good
can,
lift.
you can fit a 48-kilo lifter between the head and the bar.
6 kilos now.
But beautiful jerk
Yeah.
position there. Bent back leg, nice posture overhead.
It's great to see tall guys lift because you can actually see what's going on. If somebody doesn't really know what's going on in weightlifting, to watch, like Tuesday, you watch Lasha, the super heavyweight from Georgia. I mean, he's 6'6", and the bar just travels so high you can actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
So this is a great example. He has good technique, and you get a good opportunity to see the beauty of the lifts.
All right, so now Shikov has been called at 197 for his third attempt. That's a 6-kilo jump. If successful, he will finish with a 361 kilo total, and that will move him into second for the moment. Earlier today, Bodhi Santavi of Canada totaled 366.
Wow.
In the B group.
Nice clean. We've got to really, really keep pushing up on this. And that's not going to do it.
All right, so no lift for Shikov. He will be credited with 191 kilos from his first attempt and finished with a 355 kilo total on the day. And this one, clean was solid.
Yeah, he just doesn't look comfortable with a jerk overhead.
Uzbekistan, first attempt.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
All right, so it looks like a change for the Brazilian lifter.
He's moved up. Same weight, 200 kilos, second attempt.
1 kilo increment or an additional kilo on what he had called.
I wonder why.
6 kilo jump. Could be one of those barrier lifts, and by barrier lift I mean that Machado has tried 200 kilos on a couple of occasions.
Okay. Since he's not in it for the medals, and because that number going up doesn't really make sense for the strategy.
It's a number that he wants.
Yeah, so
it's not a strategic play.
Yeah, good for him. All right, let's hope he gets this. I'm not a big fan of shirtless clean and jerks.
It's because you couldn't.
Well, I was a sweaty man when I lifted, so the bar would slide right off my shoulders.
That's why he has chalk there. For that very reason.
Oh, man. That's too bad.
You know, we've seen a
lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, much more than I've ever seen in one meet.
Staying with 201 kilos, let's call the third and final attempt. Marco Gregorio.
But oddly enough, you know, in a lot of cases, they've come back and made it.
Yeah, which is interesting in its own right, but it's true. And as the only lifter looking for 201, this is going to be a 2-minute clock. And
well, there's somebody opening up at 202. I don't see you. No.
Well, but he's unwrapping.
So I'm.
You know, I guess with 1:35, you have enough time to wrap and unwrap, but he's wrapping up the whole thing. I mean,
yeah, you know, they're going to go up. Oh, actually, no, they just went up. Yeah, well, I think they're going to go up to 202 and put the Korean out.
Okay.
Maybe.
No, he's going to rewrap. So, you know, I guess that's the thing with wraps like this. I mean, you got to have time. And this is part of ritual as much as it is comfort and
very true.
You know, and I look at that and I think, oh, come on.
Well, it's plenty of time.
But this is what he does, and he knows how to gauge it, you know. So I, for a second, just by the way he was wrapping them up, was wondering if he was done for the day. All right, so here is Marco Gregorio of Brazil. Third attempt, 201 kilos.
He grabbed at his back. Maybe he had a cramp or something.
All right, come on.
Let's go.
Oh, nice effort. Did he split back just a little bit?
Yeah, got to push it away from him.
Gregorio, 201 kilos.
It's good effort. Just, you wonder what happened on that second one.
Just didn't like the feel, I guess, but he really battled through this.
I don't think he would have made 2 any more than that.
Maybe not, but you know, he popped his hands out nicely to where he wants to be, and it just he might have split back.
With the jerk move, it really flew off his shoulders. Just he kind of directed it just a little out in front, but the bar moved really well.
All right, so we are seeing for the first time our representative from Korea, Jun Hoon Sup. 202 kilos. Soup bombed in the snatch. It's a great clean.
Yeah, he's built for the clean, man.
And the jerk.
Yeah, that's a good lift.
That's a done deal at 202.
Good lift, Jung, 202 kilos.
He is that's the prototypical clean body right there.
Power belly.
He's just about as wide as he is tall. That's great.
Just watch the movement under the bar.
It's fantastic. Damn, good.
Yeah, there's no wasted space. And sometimes with a good jerk, there's this just great snap on the platform, the sound that you hear of the feet when they hit the split. And I kind of got that there, and I love that. All right, so now here is Sabarov. He was the silver medal in the snatch with 183 kilos. Here he is opening with 203.
His best is 210.
Yes.
So this is a good opener for him.
Oh no.
I think he might have short-stepped that a little bit, huh?
Take a look at it, and you got to think this starts to make some of the lifters in the back, like Abdallah and Dibsabala, start to salivate just a little bit.
Right.
203 kilos.
That's tough to say there. You know, he's such a young lifter, and the clean and jerk just takes time to develop. So it's not unusual to have his snatch and clean and jerk so close together.
But from what you were saying when you first looked at it, it looked like that front foot didn't get out just far enough to drive. The dip was nice, the drive was nice. Maybe just short step that jerk a bit. And, you know, we're now running a 2-minute clock here on Sabarov, and what I had alluded to with some of the others maybe starting to perk up a little bit. It's Ballas, who has a big clean and jerk. Abdallah, who knows how to make lifts and knows how to compete. You know, these guys could possibly make up ground here on the silver medalist in the snatch with what the old adage, you know, it's the clean and jerk that gets things decided. And Sabarov is not so far ahead that he can't be caught, especially by some of the more experienced in this field. And, you know, it really, looking at the scoreboard, it really makes you wonder about Elbach, if he can factor in here for a medal in the clean and jerk at least. And, you know, all the way back in 163, boy, if he would have made 167, this could be a different day for him too.
Sabarov just doesn't have a lot of margin of error.
No.
And
but
he's crossing his margin.
This is an absolute...
Right, he has to make this.
He's got to make this lift.
That was a better recovery. Yeah, just not getting that front foot out enough, and he's balances forward because of it. And then when he recovers his back foot first, it pushes everything forward.
And I wonder if he was sensing the short runway a little bit here, because he was a little...
Actually, you know what? His front foot came out okay. He just balances a little too far forward. You know, in the recovery of the jerk, you want to recover your front foot, then your back foot, and that keeps your center of balance equal. If you have to recover with your back foot first, it tends to push you forward, and then that's when you see lifters miss the jerk in front.
So Sabarov has decided 203 kilos wasn't going to work out for him today, so he's moved up to 205. And what that will do is bring out Ragab Abdallah of Egypt for his first attempt in 205 is what he opened with in Rio. He ultimately finished with a 213 kilo clean and jerk and a 387 kilo total. And he's punching somewhere around that range now.
No lift, Nagab Abdelhad.
Close,
Loaders, 205
but again,
kilos, please.
same with
From Egypt,
same with
Nagab
him, a little out
Abdelhad,
front.
second and
So I
10.
love the cadence and the tempo and the timing of this clean, and what I think gets him in the jerk.
Uzbekistan next in the same weight.
You see that left arm bent, but one of the things that's a factor there, even though it was the arm that bent, I don't like in that position where he was with that stiff back leg.
Right. Well, the stiff back leg will push your balance forward and cause that bar to move forward.
Yeah, and I think it was ultimately a little bit forward. So, all right, we will see him in a bit. Now we are back to Sabarov of Uzbekistan for his third and final attempt. If he makes this, there's a good chance he'll hold up for a medal. If he misses, it's over. No total. Cleaned 203 kilos twice. And this is a do or die lift for Sabarov.
Oh, wow. That's surprising.
No lift, no total for Farkabek Sabarov.
Well, there's a lot of guys with a sigh of relief right now.
One of them who is also not to be forgotten is Musavi of Iran, who is now very much in play
Yes.
for the medal stand. So now we are back to the Egyptian, Ragab Abdelhai, second attempt, 206 kilos. All right. It
Excellent.
wanted to go back, but it did not, and that is a good lift for Abdelhai. And that's a bit of a sigh of relief.
Yes.
He's got another attempt coming, 207 kilos now. Ragab Abdelhai, Egypt, third and final.
I mean, it won't be good enough for a medal, but
Musavi, Islamic
But to
Republic
miss
of
a
Iran.
jerk after a clean that good.
right. Great jerk.
Wait a minute, did I say that right? To miss a jerk after a
Definitely.
clean that good.
Right.
You know what I meant.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
Loaders, 208 kilos. Abdelhai once more, 208 kilos now for Ayub Musavi, Islamic Republic of
All
Iran.
right, so now
First
we are going to
attempt.
see Ayub Musavi for the first time, 208
Next.
kilos. And guess what? We are pretty deep into this competition. He placed fifth in the snatch with 171 kilos. And if he is successful here, he's going to move into the lead. We still haven't seen Moradi. We expect him to close this thing out, but keep an eye on Ditsbalis for the total. Elbach still hasn't opened in the clean and jerk, but I don't know that he can get back in this for total, so now we've got a battle. Uh-oh. He's got it.
Wow, good control. Excellent.
Very good control, both in the bottom position and right there with that little stutter step in the jerk. And Musavi of Iran has moved into the lead with a 379 kilo total.
Lithuania, first attempt, to be followed by Musavi at a higher weight.
And if you're Abdelhai, you have got to play a top-down game. You have got to throw in a big jump and see how the string takes or how things go for Ditsbalis. And for Musahari, which he has done, he is sitting on 213. And now if Ditsbalis makes this 208, he will move ahead in the competition. So this is now
Hold it.
he's going to be okay.
Yes.
And that was a crucial opener for Ditsbalis.
Ditsbalis, 208 kilos, first attempt. Floaters, 209 kilos.
And it's in the clean and jerk where he really starts to loosen up a bit.
Korea, attempt number 2.
I mean,
to be
look at
followed
where he
by
catches that.
Ditsbalis at the same weight.
Ditsbalis, who was a junior world champion back in 2010, he's clean and jerked 220, 221. All right, so now we are back to Jun Hunsup. No, and you see him. This was a 7-kilo jump.
It's not unusual in the clean and jerk between a first and a second attempt.
No.
Especially for a 94.
But there's been a bomb out in here. There's been a couple of misses. He's been on the shelf for a while, and you know he's already bombed out. So it's just looking like one of those days.
Right.
And for a little while, you thought maybe he could get into this thing for a medal in the clean and jerk, but I think we're getting past that point now.
Once more, so we're going to call from Egypt,
All right, so now
third and final attempt. Jung next.
To set this up, Ragab Abdelhai has dropped down from the 213 he originally declared to 209. This will move him into second in the total. He is opting not to go after Musahari here. That would have been awesome, but unfortunately not today with 209 for Abdelhai.
210 kilos now.
Where does that put him? That leaves
the
him.
athlete calling for this weight is Feris Hasuna, Qatar, first attempt.
That leaves Abdelhai with a 378 kilo total, putting him in third in total. So you got to figure if Maradi makes one clean and jerk, that's it. And now here's Faris Elbach, the junior, who, by the way, born in 98, has another year as a junior. He's already a junior world champion at 85. So here he is opening with 210. He snatched 163. His best ever is 211.
Wow.
That is how you start a clean and jerk series.
And that is a textbook clean and jerk right there.
It is, and he's here to win at least one medal.
210 kilos. Loaders staying with 210.
He is absolutely in the game here for a medal in the clean and jerk.
All right.
Republic of Korea, third and final.
Beautiful turnover. Stands right up.
Asuna
Perfect
next.
drive into the
He has
split.
bright future.
Yeah. I mean, that is just how it is done. All right, one last time. Jun Hoon-Sup of Korea made his opener 202, missed 209, third attempt 210. Almost.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe the tunnel was closing in on him
Yeah,
there.
maybe.
At 210 kilos.
He's not.
Loaders.
I don't blame him for being pissed.
212 kilos now.
I mean,
Right.
he has it, and he doesn't have it.
Artemis
Yeah.
Ditchbalis, Lithuania. This is his second attempt, to be followed by Musavi, Iran, at a higher weight.
So a rough day.
Yeah,
1 for 6.
that is a rough day.
And now we go to Arimis Ditchbalis of Lithuania, 212 kilos. Musavi has already elected for 214. He will need, like, if I'm right, about 219 to get ahead of Ditchbalis if Ditchbalis makes this.
What's his best
No
weight?
lift.
Like 221.
Okay.
And it was a few years ago.
212 stays.
I
The
can
athlete
find it.
Once again, Artemis Ditchbalis, Lithuania.
And this
third
is
final in the clean and
his
jerk,
Achilles heel.
to
Just
be followed by
Yeah.
Musavi.
221. He did it in Tbilisi at the Europeans in 2015. And he is now on a 2-minute clock. And
He's
Elba-
really hit or miss. I mean, you can't make a prediction based on that last attempt
No,
to make the third.
no, he's always hit her. Yeah. Elbach has moved 8 kilos to 218. Ditchbalis really is going to have to come back and make this and follow himself, and he's going to have to put his fate into the hands of Musavi.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to, and this is really good for the both lifters from Iran, where they are going to come down to ownership of the final 5 attempts of this session. So they can milk the clock for each other. They can, you know, it's going to be their show, period.
Ditchbalis, 212
It is
kilos.
literally their show. The crowd here is going to go crazy for them. And they're going to own the close of this competition. But right now, Ditchbalis can make this a lot of fun. He has 212 on the bar. If he makes this, he will move into the lead with 5 attempts remaining. In total is what I'm focused on. Elbach still has 2 clean and jerks.
Yes. Hold it.
Hold it. Oh, he held on, and let's see if he gives it to. There it is.
I mean, it looked like he was going to bend backwards.
It looked like he was going to be, I don't know,
Loaders more.
looking up at the platform while his feet were still on the ground. While looking up at the ceiling, I mean, he almost bent back the wrong
That
way.
makes it interesting.
It does indeed. Just a clutch.
He is a strong, strong man, boy.
Moradi next, but this is Musavi.
So with that, Ditchbalis has a 388 kilo total in order for Musavi to move ahead of Ditchbalis. He will need to clean and jerk 218. So the plan is clear.
Yes.
Make 214, then go for it.
just throws himself into the bottom. Yes. Wow.
All right, serve up 218 because it's coming.
Yes.
He had to have that, and he just destroyed it. So 214 on the board for Musavi, and just this ain't easy from a bottom position like that.
But his jerk was fantastic.
I mean, look at the position, back foot, whatever, but no doubt at all. And this is going to be a dramatic moment when he's back. You might as well just put it in now. You know?
Right.
All right.
So
second attempt.
Number 3.
Elbach just went down
To 215 while Musavi was on the platform. He made the change. He had been sitting on 218. I think he was hoping for some misses and slip back in to where he needed to be for a medal. Now you just take what you feel you can make. That's another thing we've seen a lot of this weekend, more of that top-down play in the back room.
But this ties him, well, ties him with one attempt to go. Ties him for third, but which puts him in fourth. It doesn't change his position.
Well, yeah, I don't know if he can get in for a medal. He's too far behind. It's the
Well, he's battling for third.
in the clean and jerk, I think. I don't think he's battling for third. Well, okay. He's actually battling for fourth.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, because Abdelhai sitting in fourth in third is going to get bounced out. But look at this.
Great lift.
Third and final attempt.
If he adds 10 or 15 kilos to his jerk, he's one of the best lifters in the world.
Yes, he is.
To his snatch. I mean, he's going to be one of the best lifters in the world. He already is, don't get me wrong, but he's going to be a medalist contender over the course of this quad. I mean, he'll be 22 by the time we hit Tokyo.
That's right.
Number 11.
And
218.
technique just terrific. So, all right, so as expected, here is the 218 kilos needed by Ayub Musavi to move into the lead, which we think will ultimately land him second. So this will, I think he's already guaranteed a medal in the total.
He's guaranteed at least bronze.
Fifth after the snatch with 171. 218 kilos here will guarantee at least a silver medal in the clean and jerk, or excuse me, in the total.
Boy. Uh-oh, he's starting to shake.
Oh.
That was tough.
That was tough, but that's a spot where he's getting a standing O and, you know, no lift. He's still going to be on the medal stand, but that's where you respect the effort. I mean, that was a grind.
Now, this is going to be interesting for Elbach. What does he do?
Sorab Moradi. First
Well,
attempt.
you have to look at, well, let's stay with this replay.
Bar is ready.
So second play, well,
He would need a 386 total, and sitting off of a 163 snatch, I mean, he'd need 223. Take a poke.
why not? It's the World Championships. He's got nothing to lose.
Right now, Moradi looks like he's going to move up from 219 to force a decision out of Elbach.
Number 3. 220. Yes.
Oh, excuse me, no, Elbach moved up to the 219. Murati moved up to 220, so he's going to need to move out of that doorway. He is not the lifter unless they've...
his third and final attempt.
Well,
yeah.
Unless Elbach goes to 223.
And it looks like they're thinking about it because he's not. Yep, they are thinking about it, and they're going to do it.
That's the right move.
And the reason why Murati came to the door is because they knew, they can count. They, like
right.
why would he take the 219?
Number 11.
So
220. Yeah.
So Murati is going to go 220.
Now. This will be the first
And we can agree if he makes this game over.
He's the champ.
At the same weight.
And then it's a battle or a question of whether or not he goes for a 413. And by the way, what he would need is 229.
That's for the total record.
And don't think a 9-kilo jump is crazy.
No.
Let's just go ahead and say it's triple gold at the World Championships with 2 attempts in hand. The question now is, will a world record fall or not? Murati, 220.
Kilos, please. This lift.
Routine.
Asuna, third and final attempt from Qatar.
Well, he's going out with 220. I don't understand.
No, is he? Well, then he is. Okay, then 220. And what 220 would do is move him second into the clean and jerk. So what they're doing is building, and they're making a decision to go home with a medal if they can, and take a weight they believe he can make. Remember, he is a junior.
That's true. Hold it.
He's got it. That
Fantastic.
is worth a standing ovation, and he is getting it. Unbelievable.
Best lift of the week. Fantastic.
More weight, please. 221
And
kilos.
somebody else cheering in the back.
Murati.
Just look at this.
Bars ready. Murati, Islamic Republic of Iran, second
Boy,
attempt.
that is the epitome of grit right there. What a great lift. I assume Murati's not coming out for 221.
Agreed. We now have 2 attempts left in this competition. Both of them belong to Sohrab Murati. And what I was alluding to is that
Please, Loaders, 234 kilos.
Mosavi will definitely be a bronze medalist.
It's successful.
And it is on.
A new
234 kilos. And he only needed 229 for the total. He's going for both of them.
In the total.
He is going
14-kilo increase.
for a 14-kilo jump.
234
A 233 kilos. They move back down.
233.
I think they're going to go back down again to 229.
But 233 will be a world record in both the jerk, the clean and jerk, and the total. He can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone at this weight.
The weight called, 233 kilos now. Murati, Islamic Republic of Iran.
We suspected this could be the case. We hoped this could be the case. And with 2 attempts at it, on his second attempt, Sohrab Murati is taking a 233-kilo clean and jerk world record attempt.
He makes this, the walls might blow up from the crowd just screaming.
Time down. He just timed out.
Are they going to call this on him?
Be prepared to get upset here, I think.
No.
Wow, they gave it to him.
A new world record.
I don't see the jury doing anything.
I hope they don't.
In the clean and jerk.
They bet not.
Wow.
Loaders.
And it looks like he's got more.
More weight, please. 234 kilos.
I gotta say, Sean, I didn't know he got it off the ground in time. It looked like the clock expired.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Maybe he broke it from the ground in time, and if he did, we're good to go. This is, they could have reviewed it. They could have done something.
They're not turning this over.
They are not. So it is a done deal.
His third and final attempt.
Sohrab Moradi has just brought down the house with a gold medal, world record performance, 417 kilos.
Anaheim, California. Stick with us.
Well, to answer the question we asked in the beginning, I guess he is in shape. I mean, that's just perfect.
History here in Anaheim.
So we've seen, is this our first senior world record this week?
It is.
We've had a junior world record from our very own Harrison Marcus, youth record.
Yes.
And our first senior world record.
So there is Arimas Ditsbalas. His total, or his clean and jerk 212, will not win a medal, but his 388 kilo total will put him second in the competition overall. And Moradi delivered what we hoped he would. In the build-up to this competition, in the discussion of who was on the start list, when his name appeared, we said, will it happen? And it has. I was looking at total. I think a lot of people were looking at total. Nobody really knew if Simon Kalecki's clean and jerk record was in reach, but it was.
That is an old record.
It was.
That is an old record.
Kalecki's clean and jerk record was set in 2000. Now, granted, it had changed in the Olympics, but was ultimately reverted back to 232. What was it, 08?
08.
Ilan? And we've seen dramatic moments like this with world records. Remember, Krlovich historically broke a world record right as the clock was expiring. And listen to this. He just timed out.
Are they going to call this on him?
Be prepared to get upset here, I think.
No.
Wow, they gave it to him. There's the president of the IWF, Tomasz Ayan, congratulating our new world record holder and world champion. Here are the results in the clean and jerk competition. World record for Moradi, beautiful. Gravity need not apply today. And it didn't. He crushed everything.
It was beautiful to see.